And now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give a reaction to the action of the World Wrestling Empire. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Ledge with my co-host, Devlin Blanchard. We got a heck of a card coming up tonight at you. Going to see Renegade defend that title against Shane Cortez. The board has ruled that the 30-day rule is in effect, and Renegade has to put the title up tonight. Raymond says he won't be ready, but we'll see what happens.
Of course, Renegade was attacked and ambushed by somebody. We don't know exactly who it was, so I'm anxious to see if he's going to be in shape to wrestle tonight.
Exactly. Of course, got Leopard Man coming up against a fine opponent in JT Rocker.
I have absolutely nothing to say about JT Rocker.
Well, I'm not taking sides, but I think JT is a fine wrestler, deserves a shot. Also going to see the continuation of the feud between Dirty Dan Wilder and the Tennessee Rebel.
Of course, Dirty Dan Wilder, one of the smartest men in professional wrestling. I estimate he will take out the man that my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee doesn't claim as any kind of rebel in short order.
The Tennessee Rebel. And then in a title defense tonight, former tag team partners, Predator goes after the Beast for that heavyweight belt. Seems like Beast, since Beast got the belt, it's been kind of a free-for-all. Everybody wants it.
Yeah, and I think that Predator is going to show the Beast exactly what a mistake he made by being a turncoat.
Of course, and in the main event tonight, Renegade takes on Shane Cortez in that belt defense. Well, I'm the Ledge with the World Wrestling Empire. Sitting next to me is this formerly Prince guy, Devlin Blanchard.
Currently Prince.
We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. This is the World Wrestling Empire.
You look like a smart man.
Let's call Domino's. They cost too much. Let's call Little Caesar. They don't deliver. Let's call Mazio. They take too long. Let's go Pizza Hut. No way!
Guys, need a suggestion? Call Luigi's Pizza, where you get 1, 2, 3 pizzas for the price of 1 with free delivery. Don't just stand there. Call and get 1, 2, 3 pizzas for the price of 1. Hey, with all those pizzas, you can even call up the girls and you might just score a
touchdown.
Luigi's Pizza. Look us up in the yellow pages.
When you drive by these storefronts, do you know instantly what they sell? Do you know the flavor, the quality of what's inside? Well, this is just one reason to turn to a Blaze window design for your sign needs. Made from a tough solar film that protects and insulates your windows and reduces ultraviolet rays, these graphics are practical as well as beautiful. Whether in a commercial or residential setting, let a Blaze design create and install a unique sign of your individuality. Oh yes, a Blaze can also fill your other sign needs, from banners to magnetics to auto designs. Call us now.
It's the Shop and Compare Carpet Sale at Bowen's Discount Carpets.
Shop and compare.
Heavy-duty commercial carpet, only $3.99 per square yard.
Shop and compare.
A new shipment of beautiful nylon carpet, only $4.99 per square yard. Bowen's has hundreds of rolls in stock, with name brand carpet and vinyl floor covering at discount prices. Shop the other places and compare prices to Bowen's Discount Carpet, 7736 Charles Page Boulevard, Tulsa.
Shop and compare.
Bowen's Discount Carpet. We refuse to be undersold.
Number one, I want to thank the people of the WWE board for giving me the title shot to wrestle Renegade. And number two, at any time that Flaming Raymond wants to step in the square circle with me, like I said last week, you signed the dotted line, step in the square circle, brother, it's between me and you.
All right, welcome back to the World Wrestling Empire. You know, I think Shane Cortez deserves that shot, and I'm glad the 30-day rule is in effect to prevent little problems like that.
And you talk about Flamin' Raymond manipulating the World Wrestling Empire Board of Directors. What has Shane Cortez done? That is the most manipulative moves I've ever seen.
Shane Cortez has caused the rules to be enforced. Well, let's get on to this first match tonight. I'll let you intro, and I'm going to head for the ring.
Okay. First match tonight pits Leopard Man, who just a couple of weeks ago, we saw him win his first match here in the World Wrestling Empire. He's had a long string of losses. Looks like he's turned it around. He's going to be going up against my former protege, JT Rocker. I have nothing to say about JT Rocker except for the fact that he's a little bit stingy with his money and a little cheap, not wanting to pay the king, the prince. I'm sorry. My sincere apologies. For the introductions of this match, we'll take it up to the Ledge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the first match for the evening, Coming out first, standing 5 foot 9 inches tall, weighing in at 245 pounds. You know him as Leopard Man.
Of course, Leopard Man greeted by a
His opponent
round
this
of
evening,
boos.
standing
We're gonna
6
see
foot
exactly
tall, weighing in at 225 pounds. From Hollywood, California, ladies and gentlemen, J.T. Rocker!
I have absolutely nothing to say about J.T. Rocker, so I'm just going to sit here and tell you what a great competitor Leopard Man is. And what he's going to do tonight to J.T. Rocker, I'm sure, will not be pretty. Let's see if Leopard Man can add a second mark in the win column to his record. Ledge?
Referee Doug McCoy already in the middle of the action trying to keep these two guys apart. I can't help but believe JT might be a little bit upset with things that have happened recently and probably have to prove himself here.
Well, he's going to have to prove an awful lot because, in my opinion, I was the winning combination for J.T. Rocker. Let's just see how he does without Devlin Blanchard.
Well, your opinion allowed you to go take who knows what from Silverado and this ABBA guy that doesn't even have the guts to show up here anymore.
That's kind of cruel to say. You know ABBA is not able to show up here.
Well, I think ABBA's hiding is what I think.
Well, Doug McCoy signals for the bell. J.T. Rocker and Leopard Man squaring off.
All right, both men circling the ring now. Collar and elbow tie-up. Leopard Man pushes JT into the ropes. Referee Doug McCoy there to order the hold broken. Leopard Man wrestling with a little more determination and a little less enthusiasm than I've seen in the past. Could this be due in part to some of the education that he's received recently in the Empire?
Well, I mean, look at Rocker. Leopard Man offered him his hand. There's one thing I told him when I was his manager, and that was never refuse the handshake of an honest man, and Leopard Man is that.
A Leopard Man, an honest man. Well, I have never seen anything to make me believe otherwise, but somehow my intuition tells me to be a skeptical just a little bit.
I am the most honest reporter and commentator the World Wrestling Empire has. Don't you agree?
I don't think I agree with anything you say, Devlin Blanchard. Meanwhile, back in the ring, JT Rocker's fighting his way out of that corner now, going to work with some nice elbows to the side of Leopard Man's face. Oh, and he slams his head into the turnbuckle.
You know, there's one thing I will say. Whenever I was managing JT Rocker, him and I worked out a lot together. I worked on new moves with him. He has got one of the most lethal forearms. There was one time in particular, I remember we were working out, and I told him to go ahead and throw the forearm on me to practice it. He knocked me out cold, so he does have a tenacious forearm.
And there, that elbow took the Leopard Man down to the mat pretty hard after that whip. Now JT drags him over, and Leopard Man's on his back. JT torquing down hard on that hammerlock there.
Let's see if Doug McCoy has learned anything since his run-in with Devlin Blanchard last week.
Well, my comment on that is I think it is inappropriate for you to leave here to go into the ring to argue with the referee.
Somebody.
That is not the mark of a good commentator, and it definitely does not display impartiality.
The referee is supposed to display impartiality, is he not? And was he displaying impartiality in that match last week?
I think the referee was doing the best he could under the circumstances. I'll have to side with him on that one.
I don't like the guy. He don't like me. There's a score to be settled. When he don't do his job, Devlin's got to do it for him.
And meanwhile, back in the ring, JT Rocker's going to work on Leopard Man. He points at Devlin Blanchard and goes down with that huge leg drop on the shoulder of Leopard Man. Follows it up again, and now he's back into an armbar.
Looks to me like the boy's trying to prove himself to Uncle Devlin.
Exactly what I figured. Good job by JT Rocker controlling Leopard Man at this point.
He still hasn't gotten over me. He dedicated that move to me. He still hasn't gotten over the loss of Prince Devlin.
Well, I think JT Rocker's gotten over the loss and doing quite well for himself at this point.
Okay, Leopard Man's got him up against the ropes. Gut shot, Irish whip into the ropes. Leopard Man scoops JT up. Sidewalk slam. Doug McCoy with a 2 count there, Ledge.
JT barely able to get that shoulder up as Leopard Man moves back in there and goes to work on the... Oh! Little closed fist action by Leopard Man. JT apparently seems to be helpless in the ring right now.
Looks like he isn't practicing what he learned from Devlin. He has forgotten already, and look what's happening to him. He's in there getting his butt kicked.
Oh, Leopard Man reaches in. It's the big body slam. JT Rocker's down in the middle of the ring. Oh, Leopard Man goes for the elbow. JT able to pull out from underneath it. Does a good job. Now he moves in on Leopard Man. Into the ropes. There's the whip. Oh, and a high flying drop kick by JT Rocker. And then Leopard Man is definitely experiencing a little of that wrath out of the youngster tonight.
It's one thing I always liked about JT. His recovery time is very short, and his second wind is very strong.
Well, Devlin, I hear you commenting favorably towards JT Rocker this evening. That's a little bit of a surprise.
See, I'm not such a bad guy. I've still got a soft spot in my heart for JT Rocker.
Well, exhibiting a little neutrality there. I believe that to be a good trade, and I hope that this will continue.
Don't get used to it.
Well, right now, JT Rocker is showing some of that enthusiasm and adrenaline flow going on as the referee, Doug McCoy, is forced to back him off. Meanwhile, Leopard Man's outside the ring. Referee Doug McCoy administering the 10 count. The crowd is getting behind JT Rocker. They're rooting for the youngster against this wild man from we don't know where.
It doesn't matter where he comes from. It only matters where he's going.
Crowd definitely behind JT Rocker tonight as he moves into the roll-up on Leopard Man. Oh, and a kick out on 2.5. JT doing a good job on the heavier opponent, working that arm bar now. You know, you got to be impressed with the very little ring strategy. JT has gone in and really gone to work on that shoulder. I'd say the wear and tear and damage that he's been able to inflict on Leopard Man are definitely beginning to have its toll on the heavier opponent. Oh, and now Leopard Man pushes JT back into the turnbuckles.
You know, there's one thing I want to point out here. The fact that Leopard Man wears a mask, that is already a psychological advantage on any opponent because you can't see the man's facial expressions. You can't tell if you've hurt him or not. Well, that's an advantage Leopard Man has got.
I've heard a lot of things about that mask, and I think the reasons behind it are definitely psychological. I don't know about strategy, though.
I've heard that the reasons behind it are criminal.
It wouldn't surprise me a bit. We're mental. And right now, Leopard Man's really putting it to JT Rocker. Speaking of a mental work, he's pressuring the cranial area of JT. JT obviously in a lot of pain right now. Leopard Man attempting to cut the supply of blood off to JT's brain. Referee Doug McCoy right there in on the action. Oh, and a big headbutt. JT is down.
We saw just a short time ago what kind of damage a Leopard Man can do with that headbutt. Perhaps we'll see it again tonight. Leopard Man over on the ropes trying to recover.
The headbutt is exactly the weapon I've noticed that most men with masks tend to use. I can't help but believe they're hiding something underneath that mask in an effort to bring weapons into the ring.
I would think that it's the reason for the mask is more, like you said, psychologically, and the fact that they can have a private life outside this great sport of ours.
I see.
Unlike yourself and I.
I know that feeling. Oh! Good move by Leopard Man to JT. He didn't like it, and he backs him into the corner. Oh, and a big boot by Leopard Man sends JT back.
Kicked him right in the face. Had I been at ringside with this man, that wouldn't have happened.
JT Rocker in a lot of pain in the middle of the ring now. Leopard Man going to work on him.
Fans at ringside are yelling that Leopard Man's got something out of his tights. I don't see anything.
See it from the vantage point that we have here, but it does appear Leopard Man seems to be messing with something. Leopard Man also apparently dazed by what has transpired in the ring to this point. Now he brings JT to his feet.
Big savate kick by Leopard Man.
Say the youngster is in trouble right now.
One thing I don't understand, and of course, Leopard Man somewhat deranged, I would say. One thing I don't understand is he's got JT Rocker flat on his back in the middle of the ring. Why is he wasting time talking to the imbeciles? Why is he not in there covering JT?
Leopard Man back into the ring now. Big fist to JT Rocker, and JT looks out in the ring.
Fans are yelling again that Leopard Man pulled something out of his boot this time. I didn't see anything.
I'm sure you didn't, Devlin Blanchard. I'm sure you didn't.
I saw him adjusting his laces, but I didn't see him take anything out of his boot.
Leopard Man moves back in on JT Rocker, brings him to his feet now, puts him into the ropes. There's
whip.
A big whip right there. Oh, and a big high flying, looked like a forearm that sent JT Rocker to the mat.
JT in his favorite hold, flat on his back.
JT's in a lot of trouble right now. He'll have to come around pretty fast to be able to come back in this match.
Leopard Man not allowing the pin there. He picked JT up at the 2 count. Doug McCoy out of position.
Of course, Leopard Man doing a good job of hiding most of what he's doing from the referee. Unfortunately, that is about the same vantage point we have been forced to view this event from.
JT with a gut shot there.
2 gut shots. JT's trying to come back, fight his way out of this predicament.
Why is Dog McCoy not saying something about the closed fist that JT Rocker's
slap to Leopard Man's head, and Leopard Man goes down. JT's back on his feet now.
Once again, Dog McCoy not saying a word. This is a move JT's worked up. It's called the Twisted Sister, and he got it.
Oh, good move by JT, but a kick out on 2 by Leopard Man. JT moves back in. Leopard Man comes back with a shot to the midsection, tries to roll him up. Oh, and there it is. Leopard Man able to roll up JT Rocker.
Now, you see what the absence of Devlin Blanchard at ringside can do.
I see what appears to be a little bit of injustice. I would be interested in finding out what happened if referee Doug McCoy were to check over Leopard Man. There's a referee declaring Leopard Man the winner. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. I don't know what to say. Leopard Man apparently able to get away with some of the types of tactics that he enjoys using. Right now, it looks like Doug McCoy was in the ring checking over JT Rocker, but apparently satisfied with his call, he leaves the building. So we're going to let JT kind of recover from this.
And when we come back, we're going to hear from Flamin' Raymond. Wait a minute, we still got action. Leopard Man with a DDT on JT Rocker out on the concrete floor. And a stomp just to pour salt in the wound.
Oh, and with that, this is the World Wrestling Empire. I'm the Ledge with Devlin Blanchard. We're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to come back with a word from Raymond.
Insurance if you have a car, boat, or motorcycle, even if you have traffic tickets or a DUI. If you own a business, if you are a renter, Try Us for Insurance has been serving Oklahomans since 1951. We are property and casualty insurance specialists. Try Us for Insurance, an independent agent for property and casualty insurance. Try Us for Insurance, 831 North Sheridan, Tulsa. That's 834-5663.
Sir Knight Formal Wear has the tuxedo for you that is the right style, the right color, the right size, at the right price for your wedding, prom, or that special occasion. It's Sir Knight Formal Wear. Open 7 days a week with 2 locations in Oklahoma City and at South Roads Mall, Tulsa. When you need to look right, Sir Knight Formal Wear.
The World Wrestling Empire returns to Tulsa, Oklahoma, Saturday, January 21st, 1995, to the National Guard Armory at 4200 North Mingo Valley Expressway for a live TV taping. Doors open at 7, bell time is 8 o'clock. Take the 36th Street exit to the National Guard Armory for the World Wrestling Empire Live. That's the World Wrestling Empire. Be there.
This is Prince Devlin Blanchard of the World Wrestling Empire. I've got my good friend Flamin' Raymond with me. I understand now the number is up to 3 men in your stable that have been ambushed by Beaver Cortez.
Cortez, Beaver, Gomez, whatever you want to call him, but he's been ambushed. Renegade's been ambushed, and he cannot defend the title. There's no way he can defend that title at this time because Gomez and a couple of his comrades beat him up, backstabbed him. I want to tell, Gomez, I'm tired of this. And one way or another, he's going to pay for it. That's all I have to say about it.
I'm with you, brother. More power to you.
We'll get him.
3 men out of his stable. You ain't heard the last of this man. I'll guarantee you that.
Oh, and that's about the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard out of Raymond's mouth. A plot by the fans. Unbelievable.
Well, that does show the power of the people. The people, the fans of the World Wrestling Empire, writing to the board of directors, calling the board of directors, and it has shown an effect because now Cortez has got the match
Well,
Renegade.
Cortez deserves a shot at that match. This is merely a question of how the rules should be enforced. And I'm glad that the fans have gotten involved, because for the first time it shows that the World Wrestling Empire is sensitive to the reaction of its fans.
Well, let's see what the fans think about this. This is one half of a really old and long-lasting rivalry between the Texas Outlaws and the Southern Express. They've had many, many tag team battles for the titles, Mondo and Beyond-O. Let's see what happens tonight when one half of each team squares off against each other. It would be Dirty Dan against the Tennessee Rebel. For the introductions, let's take it to the ledge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this match, coming in first, the referee, Mr. Doug McCoy. The contenders this evening, standing 6 foot tall, weighing in at 202 pounds. You know him as one half of the Texas Outlaws from the Badlands of Texas, Dirty Dan Wilder.
Dirty Dan Wilder and Bone Crusher Bobby Burns, the Texas Outlaws. Whether you like them or not, they're your tag team champions of the World Wrestling Empire.
His opponent this evening, standing 6 foot tall, weighing in at 225 pounds, one half of the Southern Express from Nashville, Tennessee, the Tennessee Rebel.
What I would call the smarter half of the Southern Express, if there is to be such a thing. The Tennessee Rebel, although the people of my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee are embarrassed to admit that this man is from our home state. Could we see possibly right here a squaring off the Rebel flag and the Texas flag? They're face to face right here at ringside. Rebel better worry more about Dirty Dan Wilder than carrying the flag around Bone Crusher Bobby Burns.
Well, this is rivalry here has been building. These two guys take every opportunity to go at it. This is just another attempt from these two guys to really maim and injure each other. Of course, we'll be seeing them next week when the Southern Express takes on the Outlaws in a tag team title match.
Yep, will be a title match. You know, I'm gonna digress a little bit here. I'm gonna take a chance and go out on a limb and say, I kind of like the Tennessee Rebel just a little bit, just a little. And there's no punchline.
You kind of liked him. Well, I'm a little amazed to hear that out of your mouth, Devlin Blanchard.
The only problem with him is he's fighting on the wrong side of the ring, associating with the wrong people.
There's the bell. Dirty Dan Wilder and the Tennessee Rebels circle the ring. I can't believe these two are going to go chest to chest in the middle of the ring. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few low blows on the parts of both competitors here tonight.
We got like a shoving match going over here.
Oh, and Dirty Dan goes in after Tennessee Rebel. These guys are going to stand toe-to-toe and slug it out tonight.
It's fisticuffs, and Dirty Dan's taking a locker room break.
Referee Doug McCoy having to warn the usual very prudent wrestler, Tennessee Rebel, about use of the fist. Tennessee Rebel definitely emotionally involved in this match tonight.
There's a long history between these two men and between the two teams of the Texas Outlaws and the Southern Express. A lot of bad blood. A lot of blood has been spilled and a lot of bad blood between them. So this is nothing new. It's an old rivalry. Let's see what new tricks each man can pull out on each other tonight.
Well, right now they're into a test of strength. These two guys like a couple of bulls out in a pasture, pushing on each other, trying to prove who's the boss. Oh, and Dirty Dan comes in with a boot to the midsection.
You know, one thing to be worth pointing out is these two men are very evenly matched size and weight-wise. Very even.
Very evenly matched. I agree with you there. And each one equal in their hatred for the other.
Definitely, definitely. And Dirty Dan is demonstrating his hatred by choking the Rebel out. And I'll admit it because that's what he's doing. He ain't trying to hide it, and he don't care. These two men hate each other, and they want to end each other's careers, whatever it takes.
That's right. Even as a fine a gentleman as a Tennessee Rebel is, I wouldn't be surprised to see a few pieces of tactical maneuvering that might be just on the fringes or, you know, possibly the gray area of what the rules allow.
Few more shots like the one we just saw, and Dirty Dan may have another couple of teeth missing.
Oh, and these two guys are going at it tonight. Dirty Dan and Tennessee Rebel with a wild whip into that turnbuckle, and now Dirty Dan goes to work with a forearm to the back.
What is this? Oh, that's like a DDT with your knees, except in this case, all of Dirty Dan's weight was coming down on the skull of Tennessee Rebel.
Drives that forehead into the mat. Dirty Dan follows up, reaches around from behind, and tries to pry apart the face of the Tennessee Rebel.
You know, I'm interested to see what kind of effect this match is going to have on the tag match next week.
Oh, I don't think this is going to help matters at all for next week. You know, I feel sorry for whoever's been assigned as the referee for that show. They're going to have a hard time keeping these two guys apart.
Dirty Dan's throwing another shot. The Rebel's in the corner. He's in a bad position right now.
I'm a little surprised that Tennessee Rebels tag team partner Scott Summers isn't here to watch the back of the Tennessee Rebel. Bone Crusher Bobby Burns definitely making himself known at ringside.
Once again, I offer you an example of how the librarian Scott Summers sacrifices his partner to the Outlaws. Where is he? He's reading a book in the back. That's where he is.
Oh, and right now in the middle of the ring, Dirty Dan Wilder is really working over the Tennessee Rebel. Oh, big elbow to the side of Dirty Dan's head. And now Tennessee Rebel slams that head into the turnbuckles. Oh, again and again. He's going to work on one half of the Texas Outlaws.
Of course, the padding on those turnbuckles is very, very thin. Turnbuckle is made of metal. It wraps around the edge of the rope, so actually that is a legal weapon in that ring.
One of the only ones allowed. And Devlin Blanchard is exactly correct. That is a metal turnbuckle that ties onto a piece of wrapped cable in the corner there. There's about a 1-inch pad that goes around that turnbuckle, and that is all there is to protect a wrestler's head from injury.
Here's the advantage. Dirty Dan is outside the ring. Bone Crusher Bobby Burns offering his expertise from a viewpoint outside the window looking in. If Scott the Librarian Summers was out here, he might be able to do the same thing for the Tennessee Rebel. That is where Dirty Dan Wilder has a definite advantage tonight.
Well, right now, I think the Texas Outlaws need to be more concerned with what's going on inside the ring than what's going on outside the ring. The crowd is definitely having an effect on morale and ring strategy of Dirty Dan Wilder.
You know, I honestly have to disagree with you there. I don't think the audience, the fans, have anything to do with what goes on in the mind of Dirty Dan Wilder, because he hates them just as much as they hate him.
Well, right now that hatred looks like it's turned to fear, because Dirty Dan Wilder is not ready to tangle it up in the ring again. Here they go in. Oh, and Dirty Dan goes in with the side leg takeover, puts Tennessee Rebel down on the mat.
Dirty Dan showing some amateur wrestling skill there.
And Dirty Dan really torquing it down right there, trying to force the submission from Tennessee Rebel. I don't think we'll be seeing that happening tonight.
And look at this. Right there's the psychological advantage I'm talking about. Rebel is tied up, got his legs tied up in a ring by Dirty Dan. He raises up his face to look out, and he sees Bone Crusher Bobby Burns standing right in his face and screaming at him. That's got to do something to the psyche of the Tennessee Rebel.
All right, and now Dirty Dan Wilder really going to work on that leg of Tennessee Rebel. Oh, stretches that knee out. This is pretty painful on the ligaments and knee area. Dirty Dan Wilder now using that rope for a little extra leverage.
There's McCoy getting on Bone Crusher Bobby Burns for doing what? Standing at the ringside cheering. Once again, McCoy not doing his job.
Tennessee Rebel taking quite a beating to that hamstring area now. Dirty Dan Wilder torques it down, putting all the pressure he can on that hamstring area.
You know that Tennessee Rebel has got to be getting tired of hearing Bone Crusher.
Now Dirty Dan throws Tennessee Rebel out of the ring. Oh, Bone Crusher Bobby Burns goes to work on Dirty Dan Wilder.
Rebel's getting worked over double time. If the Librarian was here, that wouldn't have happened. So the only person that Rebel can blame for that situation is the Librarian, Scott Summers.
Well, right now, I don't think there's too much to be worried about other than Tennessee Rebel making it back into the ring after those series of blows by the Bone Crusher, Bobby Burns.
You know that tag team title match next week is going to be a brawl.
They're heating it up. Oh, and after the 5 count, Tennessee Rebel comes into the ring. Dirty Dan Wilder immediately right back in on him.
dropping multiple knees to the cranium of the Tennessee Rebel. And it's echoing because there ain't nobody home.
Tennessee Rebels taking quite a beating thus far into this match. Dirty Dan Wilder really going to work on the neck of Tennessee Rebel, trying to right now all you can say is he's trying to disable the man. I don't think there's any strategy here at all other than to just injure Tennessee Rebel.
And look at that. Once again, Rebel looks through those ropes and he sees Bone Crusher Bobby Burns taunting him, teasing him, slagging him, and ripping him apart verbally. Psychological advantage goes to Dirty Dan Wilder, courtesy of Bone Crusher.
Right now, Dirty Dan Wilder definitely using all that to his advantage as he goes to work on the side of the neck of the Tennessee Rebel. Tennessee Rebel trying to get back on his feet. Oh, a couple of blows back, but Dirty Dan still remains in control of the match. Oh,
first neck breaker.
Big move by Dirty Dan Wilder. And I'll tell you, I don't think Tennessee Rebel's going to get up from this one.
Dirty Dan said that was all. Signaled to the fans. That's the end of it. He's covered for the pin. 2. No, he picks him up.
Tennessee Rebel comes up on 2. You know, I can't help but believe that Tennessee Rebel really has the heart of a champion with that move right there.
Those guys, that ring is 25 feet from where we're at right now. I mean, the men in the ring are 15 to 25 feet away from us, and I can hear those shots all the way over here. He was hitting that man hard.
And Dirty Dan Wilder really working on the Tennessee Rebel. Now the Tennessee Rebel able to reach over, get that hammerlock going on Dirty Dan Wilder. He's torquing on it.
What resilience.
Referee Doug McCoy right there in on the action. Good job by the Tennessee Rebel in the comeback move. Able to reverse that, does great.
And Rebel got the headlock there. He's in a good position except for one thing. Dirty Dan's coming around. I don't know what he was doing under there, but whatever it was, it gained him a definite advantage. Dirty Dan picking a Rebel up again. And a big knee lift to the side of his head. You know, I think Dirty Dan's got an ulterior motive here to try to make Tennessee Rebel as ugly as he is by inflicting damage on his face.
Well, you know, not only do we have this match going on, we've got that title shot tonight with Renegade and Shane Cortez.
Had him covered, but once again, it wasn't enough. Dirty Dan kicking out. Dirty Dan Wilder rolling
a precursor of things to come. We got a couple of more great matches coming at you. These two guys have been taking it to each other. Yeah, I'd be surprised if one of these guys wasn't injured and couldn't wrestle next week.
It's hard to tell which one of these two men is the worse for wear in this situation. Dirty Dan relatively slow getting back in the ring, and Rebel obviously shaking off the cobwebs.
Oh, and Rebel goes
Looks
right
like a
back
boxing
in.
match.
Oh, and now Dirty Dan comes out with a fist and goes to work on the Tennessee Rebel.
They are just punching each other. Big headbutt by Dirty Dan.
Attempting to issue a warning there, not able to do much with the wrestlers at this point. Both men into the ropes, obviously suffering damage from the series of blows they just traded.
Dirty Dan locked in the corner
moves
there.
into Dirty Dan. Dirty Dan able to get that boot up into the midsection. Now goes with a thrust to the throat.
That wasn't to the throat, it was to the chin. What's the matter with you?
Well, Devlin, once again, I don't know what match you're watching, but I was looking right at it when it happened. It was definitely a blow to the throat. Oh, Tennessee Rebel misses with the big shot. Dirty Dan's able to get the bear hug going on him now.
Uh-oh, right here.
Oh, and Dirty Dan Wilder hits Tennessee Rebel with that cowbell. Referee was out of place and didn't see it. Rebel appears to be out, but Dirty Dan's moved in for the pin.
He got it.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The referee was out of position, enabling Dirty Dan Wilder. There he is, the winner of the match. Dirty Dan Wilder. The referee has a few words with the Bone Crusher.
Uh-oh, Bone Crusher Bobby Burns is
back into the ring, trying to get the Outlaws off of Tennessee Rebel.
They are double timing. They're double timing the Tennessee Rebel. They want this man. Here comes the librarian. What is Viper out here for? What is Viper doing out here? I tell you something, this guy Viper keeps appearing at the worst times. Last week he put his hands on me and I got a body slam from Cortez because of him. Who is this guy and what's he doing?
Well, I think he's managing some of these guys now, doing a good job of it. We're going to let him
manage to get his skull cracked if he keeps putting his nose in other people's business.
Well, we're going to let him clear out the ring right now. We got a title heavyweight defense from Beast coming up as he's going to take on a Predator, a former tag team partner. But right now, we're going to get a short break in, going to talk to our sponsors, and we're going to be right back. This is Devlin Blanchard. I'm the Ledge, and this is the World Wrestling Empire.
Hi, I'm Glenn DeWeese, the owner of Davcom Video and the director of tonight's show. And this is the edit suite where we put it all together. You know, it's a proven fact that people who both see and hear information remember significantly more than people who only see or hear it. Recent advances in video technology have brought high-quality video within the reach of even the smallest business or organization. If you have a video need for anything from large multi-camera shoots from cheerleading competitions to professional wrestling, or perhaps you want to showcase your product in a trade show or create a training video for your employees, Davcom Video offers turnkey production from scripting to making your copies. And we'll work with your budget to give you the best video product your money can buy. Call us now, 749-9447. References available upon request.
Let's call Domino's. They cost too much. Let's call Little Caesar. They don't deliver. Let's call Mazio's. They take too long. Let's call Pizza Hut. No way!
Guys, need a suggestion? Call Luigi's Pizza where you get 1, 2, 3 pizzas for the price of 1 with free delivery. Don't just stand there. Call and get 1, 2, 3 pizzas for the price of 1. Hey, with all those pizzas, you can even call up the girls and you might just score a
touchdown.
Luigi's Pizza. Look us up in the yellow pages.
It's the Shop and Compare Carpet Sale at Bowen's Discount Carpets.
Shop and compare.
Heavy-duty commercial carpet, only $3.99 per square yard.
Shop and compare.
A new shipment of beautiful nylon carpet, only $4.99 per square yard. Bowen's has hundreds of rolls in stock with name brand carpet and vinyl floor covering at discount prices. Shop the other places and compare prices to Bowen's Discount Carpet, 7736 Charles Page Boulevard, Tulsa.
Shop and compare.
Bowen's Discount Carpet. We refuse to be undersold.
I'm standing here with referee Doug McCoy. Now, Doug, Devlin Blanchard has made a pretty bold challenge to you.
Well, let me tell Devlin Blanchard one thing. I haven't been in this business for as long as I have without learning a thing or two, and if he keeps running his mouth the way he has, I'm going to shut it. Devlin, you want to match with me, you bring it on, you set it up with the board, and I'll take you on, because you don't scare me a bit. Bring it on, Devlin.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Devlin Blanchard's going to take on referee Doug McCoy in a little disagreement over officiating in the World Wrestling Empire. All right, welcome back to the World Wrestling Empire. Boy, we got a great match coming at you right now. But first, you know, I want to say one thing, Devlin. It looks like somebody is finally going to shut your mouth up, and I'm afraid it's going to be the referee, guy.
That puny little referee, Doug McCoy, wants a match with Devlin Blanchard. Thinks he's going to shut me up? Nobody can shut me up. The WWE board has approved this match between myself and Doug McCoy because I don't like this man. But I'm a man who always thinks ahead. I have gotten a special referee for this match. A man who used to referee here quite a bit and just recently came into a large sum of inheritance. Special referee between me and Doug McCoy, ladies and gentlemen, the Atomic Playboy, Steve Hartley. Come on out here, baby. My good friend. Come say hello to Devlin. Now, I know you're going to be the referee for this match between me and Doug McCoy that's coming up in the next 30 days or so. How are you going to call this match, my friend?
I tell you what, Devlin, I've always been a straight-up referee. I've always been the kind of referee that takes things right down the middle. I'm very fair, completely unbiased. And let me tell you something, Devlin, that's not going to change. I'm still going to be the same guy as I always was that got me the license to get in that ring and do what I'm supposed to do. Of course, money does change everything.
That's right, my friend. Money does change everything, and it has been a pleasure doing business with you. I'll see you when I step in the ring with Doug McCoy, my friend. Thank you, sir. Up to the ledge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a World Wrestling Empire heavyweight title defense. Coming in first, the challenger, standing 6 foot tall, weighing in at 240 pounds. He was trained in Singapore, ladies and gentlemen, Predator.
And of course, what the ledge has failed to mention, is that he is escorted to the ring by his manager, Flamin' Raymond, and tag team partner, the light heavyweight champion, the Renegade. Predator, of course, saluting the Prince on his way by. My good friend. Now, for the ugly champion to the ledge.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent this evening, standing 6 foot tall, weighing in at 335 pounds. He is the World Wrestling Empire Heavyweight Champion from Delray Beach, Florida, the Beast!
There was a time when I thought the Beast was a good man and a smart man and had his brains in the right place. But I see now, after his turncoat tactics on Annihilator just a short time ago, I see where his brain is. He sits on it. Well, why don't we see how the man can do against his former ally, the Predator, in defending his belt tonight, Ledge?
Well, I think the Beast will do just fine. At this point, I've got to say I'm really impressed with the Beast. He has come out, conducted himself as a true champion. Got to also comment on the fact that the Beast seems to have been befriended by some new people in his recent acquisition of the belt. I mean, of course, in reference to people like Scott Summers and Shane Cortez.
With friends like that, who needs enemies, you know?
There's the bell. Both men circling the ring now. You know, you got to realize that a Predator is going to be cautious. He knows that Beast is familiar with the type of tactics that he's capable of and can turn the tables and use them against him.
These two men know each other very well. They have worked out together. They have trained together. They've been friends for a long time. But now the Beast has abandoned his old friends for the cheers of these people. I think that's disgusting that you would turncoat and trade on your friends just for these people out here. Well, the Beast is going to have to learn a hard lesson tonight. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Renegade coming over and handing Devlin the title belt for me to hold on to.
Well,
I am honored. I am truly honored. And may I mention, it is very good to see Renegade back in the ring wars after the vicious ambush.
Of course, right now in the ring, we got Predator going to work on the Beast. The Beast fighting back as best he can. Oh, a big slap by the Beast. Now he's got him by the legs, tied up, pushing on him. Oh, and Predator, barely able to get out, using that awesome muscle strength in the neck area to get his shoulders up off the mat.
One thing I want to point out here, this is the first match Predator has had since coming back off that elbow injury that he had just a short time ago when he slipped and fell getting out of the limo right here at this building that I am now going to designate as the Devlin Dome.
Oh, please, the Devlin Dome. Well, we've lost it all pretty bad now. We're naming things after Silverado's cohorts. Unbelievable action. Oh, and a big savate kick. And Beast is on the mat.
Beast is not using his brains. He's not watching.
Oh, and the Predator going to work on that knee now. He's going to try to take the legs out from underneath the big guy.
The Beast knows that Predator's feet is his biggest weapon, his strongest weapon. He ain't watching. He took one right in the square of the chin, and that's why he's on his back now.
Predator in a lot of pain, but comes back fighting hard, showing some of what has made him the champion. Now Predator going with a series of big chops, and the Beast is a little bit stunned by that. Another blow by Predator. Beast counters it. Oh, a couple of big open hands, and Predator's in trouble in the turnbuckle.
You know, after so long of these men being allies, it is really strange to see Predator against Beast with Flamin' Raymond and Renegade outside the ring.
Oh, and a big boot by the Beast in the elbow right there, I guess shoulder area of Predator. Predator's in a lot of trouble right now. Beast going in for the pin. Predator barely able to get up on the 2 count. Gets to his feet now. Oh, and a big knee lift.
See, if the Beast were a smart man, he would try his best to take out Predator's legs, because that's the Predator's most dangerous weapon. If he could take out his legs, he'd stand a chance. Looks to me like the title's coming back over to our side tonight, Ledge Man.
Well, I think Beast is capable of just about anything. I've seen this big man accomplish great feats in the World Wrestling Empire, but right now he's got his hands full with the Predator.
Snap suplex right there, real quick.
Oh, and Beast able to get that foot into the ropes. 2 count by referee Doug McCoy, and Predator is forced to break the hold.
You know, I'm interested to see something, and I notice Renegade has a knee brace on. He's scheduled to wrestle Cortez tonight.
That's correct.
For this title belt that I'm holding right here in my hands.
This is an enforcement by the board of the 30-day rule, which says a championship belt must be defended every 30 days.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to be with Raymond. These fat, ignorant, oaky, corn-fed hillbillies coming out here and bringing these signs down. Me and him, I think we need a new rule here in the Devlin Dome, and I'm going to plant that rule right now. No more signs. No more.
Oh, and right now Beast having his hands full, keeping all the people at ringside away from him. Raymond, Renegade, and Predator all attempting to go after the big man. Right now it's Predator. Beast reverses the suplex, and nice move. Predator rolls out of the ring now, and Beast gets to his feet.
Raymond around checking on the back of Predator. We know that Predator has a bad back and a bad elbow since his fall out of the limousine just a short time ago. Raymond, being the excellent manager that he is over there checking on his man. Make sure he's okay and fit to continue the match.
All right, referee Doug McCoy orders the Beast back.
I want you to take a good look at Beast's face. Look at the Beast's face, Ledge. This man is so ugly. When he was a baby, his mother fed him from across the street with a slingshot. Look at that ugly face.
Well, his mama must have been pretty accurate with that slingshot, because Beast is a huge individual. And right now he's been taking it to the Predator, showing that he was paying attention the whole... Oh, big savate kick by Predator.
Fast as lightning.
Very fast, caught the shoulder and elbow area of the Beast. Appears to have injured the champion just a little bit.
These two men stalking each other. They both obviously have a lot of respect for each other because they're taking their time. Oh, and the Beast with a good pop. That's 2.
Oh, big open hands to the face of Predator. Now Predator fights back.
The match we saw.
The guillotine on the ropes against the Beast. Referee Doug McCoy right there to order the hold broke.
The match we saw last week between the Beast and Annihilator was about as brutal as it comes. I'm beginning to think that these two men against each other are going to take the blue ribbon and make us forget about the last one. Predator with a cover.
Beast able to get that shoulder up on the 1 count.
Only a count of 1 now. Beast with a gut shot.
Oh, nice knee lift. Another big knee lift, and Beast is in. Predator's into the ropes. Beast drives that shoulder into Predator. Predator looks like he's out of wind right now. Beast reaches in with another suplex. Oh, no, and he misses with the big elbows. Predator was able to pull out of that one just in time.
Even when Predator has been beaten and he's tired and he's worn out, he still has the presence of mind to move out of the way when the big boulder, man mountain of the Beast is coming down toward him with that elbow.
All right, Beast stalks Predator into those ropes. Predator backs off a little bit, sizing up the Beast. Oh, chops to the ears and throat.
Predator, of course, an expert in the martial arts, and he's demonstrating his abilities right here on the Beast. Beast kind of looks like a kicking dummy, don't he?
Beast is down in the ring right now. Predator goes in and tries for the pin. Beast able to get that shoulder up on the 1 count. Nice move by the Beast. Predator forced to break the hold.
Beast back up. That just shows you what kind of man he is. He is an Iron Man.
Oh, nice front kick by Predator. Follows it up with a couple of chops and a knee lift. Another chop, and sends Predator back into the mat.
You know.
Oh, no, and now Renegade hands that cane.
Predator has got to know that if he brings that stick in, he's going to get disqualified.
Oh, and referee Doug McCoy has disqualified Beast.
No, he disqualified
I'm
Predator.
sorry, disqualified Predator. Oh.
I think that Flamin' Raymond had a plan all along to take the Beast out of the legs. Predator doing it nicely with the kendo stick there. Look at the Beast.
Well, we're going to see a title defense with that man right there coming up next. There you go. Referee Doug McCoy has declared the Beast the winner.
The Beast is, I can't believe his resiliency. He's up. Fans are cheering him. Amazing, amazing. Even if I don't like it, that is the World Wrestling Empire heavyweight champion, the Beast. We're not going to take a break here. We're just going to keep the action rolling. The next match, I don't know what's going to go on here because Renegade was just out here. He was fully dressed. He wasn't dressed to wrestle. Had a knee brace on. Obviously, he had been attacked. I don't know what's going to happen, but he's scheduled to defend the light heavyweight title right here against Cortez. I guess we'll find out what happens here. Let's take it up to the ledge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this next match is for the World Wrestling Empire Light Heavyweight Championship. First, the #1 contender, standing 6 foot 1 inch tall, weighing in at 215 pounds, from Henrietta, Oklahoma, ladies and gentlemen, the high-flying Shane Cortez.
I will not pick any bones in telling you I do not like Shane Cortez. And I like him even less now than I did a week ago, because last week what you saw was he pulled me down off of here and brutally attacked me and victimized me, the Prince.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and now, standing 6 foot tall, weighing in at 225 pounds, the World Wrestling Empire Light Heavyweight Champion from Blue Rapids, Kansas, Renegade!
Renegade has got to defend this belt right now. This is the 29th day. Of course, the World Wrestling Empire has a rule on the books that a champion must defend his title at least once every 30 days. Wait a minute.
Referee, I want to tell all you stupid, idiotic people out there in TV land, my man got hurt. I've been telling everybody in the WWE he's hurt. This stupid Gomez, Cortez, whatever his name is, hurting him and his comrades, whatever you want to call it. He's hurting. I have as much right to defend that belt as he does. He can't do it, so I want to do it.
Whoa, Flamin' Raymond says that since Renegade can't defend the belt, he wants to do it.
I want to defend the belt. I want to defend the belt. I have as much right to that belt. I worked just as hard to defend that belt. Look what he did to me. Look what he did to me.
It's not going to happen. You have to have a wrestling license to wrestle in this organization. All you have is a manager's license. Raymond, we've gone over this before.
I have an injunction with my attorneys, Mr. McCoy, whatever your name is, and I've gotten to where I can do it. You allow it tonight, or you go to the board or whatever, but I want to wrestle this Gomez, Cortez, whatever his name is.
You take it to the board, you get it cleared by them, it's fine with me. But you take it to the board first. I don't have that authority.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Referee Doug McCoy has ruled that upon approval by the board, Flamin' Raymond will be able to defend the light heavyweight belt in place of Renegade. We're going to take a short commercial break and get this straightened out. We'll be right back. This is the World Wrestling Empire.
Have you been through some rocky relationships lately? Watch Singles TV and bring somebody new into your life.
Singles TV, every Friday at 6 p.m. on Cable 9.
The World Wrestling Empire returns to Tulsa, Oklahoma, Saturday, January 21st, 1995, to the National Guard Armory at 4200 North Mingo Valley Expressway for a live TV taping. Doors open at 7, bell time is 8 o'clock. take the 36th Street exit to the National Guard Armory for the World Wrestling Empire Live. That's the World Wrestling Empire. Be there.
When you drive by these storefronts, do you know instantly what they sell? Do you know the flavor, the quality of what's inside? Well, this is just one reason to turn to a Blaze window design for your sign needs. Made from a tough solar film that protects and insulates your windows and reduces ultraviolet rays, these graphics are practical as well as beautiful. Whether in a commercial or residential setting, let a Blaze design create and install a unique sign of your individuality. Oh yes, a Blaze can also fill your other sign needs, from banners to magnetics to auto designs. Call us now.
Insurance, if you have a car, boat, or motorcycle, even if you have traffic tickets or a DUI. If you own a business, if you are a renter, Try Us for Insurance has been serving Oklahomans since 1951. We are property and casualty insurance specialists. Try Us for Insurance, an independent agent for property and casualty insurance. Try Us for Insurance, 831 North Sheridan, Tulsa. That's 834-5663.
The scoop is this. Flamin' Raymond claims he's got just as much right to defend that title as Renegade does. He's taken the action to the board. Referee Doug McCoy has ruled that if the board approves it, Renegade can allow Flamin' Raymond to defend that title. We're going to take a short commercial break while the shouting's over with and see what we can get figured out. I'm the Ledge sitting here with Devlin Blanchard, and we're going to be right back.
Let's call Domino's. They cost too much. Let's call Little Caesar. They don't deliver. Let's call Mazio's. They take too long. Let's call Pizza Hut. No way!
Guys, need a suggestion? Call Luigi's Pizza where you get 1, 2, 3 pizzas for the price of 1 with free delivery. Don't just stand there. Call and get 1, 2, 3 pizzas for the price of 1. Hey, with all those pizzas, you can even call up the girls and you might just score a
touchdown.
Luigi's Pizza. Look us up in the yellow pages.
Next week on the World Wrestling Empire, watch as two former World Wrestling Empire heavyweight champions take on each other as Annihilator challenges TJ Steele to battle in the squared circle. Also watch as World Wrestling Empire tag team champions, the Texas Outlaws, defend their belts against the Southern Express. And find out who will defend the World Wrestling Empire light heavyweight belt against Shane Cortez. That's the World Wrestling Empire next week. Be there.
It looks like the little matter with Raymond defending the belt's going to have to go before the board. That's going to stall that off just a little while longer. I can't help but believe that's just a stalling tactic on the part of Raymond to try to give Renegade a chance to heal up from that supposed injury there.
Well, the whole situation there is it's down to the 11th hour. It's down to the 29th day. Renegade, of course, being injured, hasn't been able to defend his belt. And I think if the Empire board is fair and just, they will allow Raymond to wrestle Cortez. As much as I don't want to see that, if they're fair, they'll allow it.
Well, we'll have to see what the board decides. I'm sure we'll have more news on that next week. We had a great night tonight. The Beast wins in a DQ against Predator, former tag team partner there. No love lost in that match, obviously.
And of course, also, we saw Dirty Dan Wilder defeat soundly the Tennessee Rebel. I cannot wait until next week to see what happens now when the Texas Outlaws defend the WWE Tag Team titles against the Southern Express. Could be revenge time for the Express.
Big time, big time. Well, we got a few people we need to thank right now. We want to thank Davcom Video.
Of course, we want to thank Downey Tax Service.
And the good people at Bowen's Discount Carpets.
Luigi's Pizza.
Try Us for Insurance.
Jernigan Graphics and Design.
And also, I'd like to thank my personal sponsor, Sir Knight Formal Wear, for making
you look like a penguin.
I'm a sharp-dressed man, that's right.
You're a sharp-dressed penguin.
Okay. The executive officers for the World Wrestling Empire are Lee Downey and Scott Marshall.
Administrative director is Cindy Downey.
And the athletic director is Floyd Rabbit. Now then, if you want a copy of tonight's show or want any information concerning the World Wrestling Empire, all you have to do is write to the World Wrestling Empire at P.O. Box 593, Owasso, Oklahoma, 74055.
That also substitutes as the Devlin Blanchard Fan Club.
Well, I don't know about that, but you can get information on where the upcoming events for the World Wrestling Empire are. I'm the Ledge. This is formerly Prince Devlin.
Currently
Ledge.
I'm about to slap some sense into you.
Well, the
Wedge.
Oh, easy now. Anyway, I want to say good night, Kayla. Come back, see us next week. We'll let you know what's going on. This is Devlin Blanchard, and I'm the Ledge, and you've been watching the World Wrestling Empire. Good night.